Hello, anybody. Don Polec here with another edition of the History of My World, where we take a look back at some of the fun stories and memorable moments I've shared with you on the news. Now, my favorite kinds of stories were ones that informed people and gave them some insight into some everyday aspect of their life that they probably took for granted, like your morning cup of coffee. And if I could combine that insight with some juvenile humor that would make a 12-year-old middle school student laugh out loud, so much the better.
It is one of the world's largest selling consumer products.
Coffee is the second largest commodity worldwide behind oil.
And to commemorate the 20 years that the Bucks County Coffee Company has been providing people with their morning pick-me-up, for the first time the firm is busy developing a brand new flavor geared specifically to the tastes of Philadelphia area coffee lovers. The final candidates being evaluated in the company's standard quality control procedure, a highly specific process called cupping.
I am a roast master, and we constantly are monitoring 5 different characteristics of the coffee: aroma, body, acidity and brightness, flavor, and aftertaste, and you score it. And that's how you monitor your quality, tasting what is good and what is bad. The basis is you do not ingest coffee all day long when you're doing this part of the business. That will get you wired sometimes. You utilize a spittoon and it's gone. A wine taster, I'm sure, does just almost exactly the same type of thing, very specific. So you're comparing apples with apples all the time.
So, how often do you do this?
Every day.
You're kidding.
We start the day this way.
Because your palate's fresh.
So how many blends do you have to taste?
Well, about 9 a day.
About 9, you say?
Sometimes more, sometimes less.
You still like coffee?
What do you think?
You bet.
Absolutely.
A sentiment shared by many customers, no matter what their taste.
There's 51 different flavors and varieties that we roast here. I had a chocolate torte this morning, which is a new flavor we're coming out with, and it was outstanding. We put 50 pounds of coffee into a huge cement mixer, and then we put a liquid flavoring in.
A technique that could easily be used to truly customize the taste of a Philly blend, using accents that have made our cheesesteaks so tasty for years and that we've enjoyed on hot pretzels and, of course, on the ever-beloved Italian hoagie, for a coffee flavor that would combine for people the tastes of Philadelphia as never before experienced. Oh, it's a quiet taste. I'm Don Polec, Channel 6 Action News.
Obviously, my favorite part of that story is the middle section, the interview where I'm talking to them while they're doing their taste testing. And the reason I like it, obviously, is because it recalls the classic spit take, which has been a tenet in comedy ever since vaudeville. You know, and for you young people who don't know what a spit take is, the scenario is always the same. There's 2 people, and one of them is drinking something, and just as he takes a sip, the other one says something outrageous and unexpected, and the reaction's always. And so it's guaranteed to make a mess, for one thing. But the thing I found amazing was that how willing people are to do a spit take on camera if you ask them. Especially if you tell them that it's going to be on TV and your friends and your relatives will all see you doing it. So I decided to use that technique when I did a story about a new book that was coming out that was giving insights on the calorie count of some common foods that Americans eat every day. Information that in many cases is surprising and worthy of a spit take.
Restaurant Confidential has calorie and fat information on close to 1,500 restaurant foods, from everything from fast food to table service restaurants.
Information that's often a shocking and startling eye-opener about some of our favorites.
For example, a Venti white chocolate mocha has 600 calories and 3/4 of a day's saturated fat. It's like drinking a McDonald's Big Mac. It's no wonder that more than half of all Americans are overweight when you consider an order of cheese fries, for example, which is served with ranch dressing, has 3,000 calories and 4 days worth of saturated fat. It's like 2 entire T-bone steak dinners complete with Caesar salads and baked potatoes. The nice thing about Restaurant Confidential is we point people in the direction of the healthy foods and away from those that are real disasters.
Letting diners see in black and white the startling truth that a chicken Caesar salad has 46 grams of fat, and that a tuna salad sandwich has 4 times the fat of a roast beef sandwich.
But it's not really where you eat, it's what you choose. You can get a healthy meal at any restaurant if you pick wisely.
With the help of a book that wisely suggests you steer clear of its often shocking revelations. I'm Don Polec, Channel 6 Action News.
And despite the plexiglass, I still had to get that blazer dry cleaned after I did that story. But it was a story that follow the three tenets that I always tried to follow when it came to creating an engaging and compelling news story: information, humor, and above all, dignity. I'm Don Polec, and I'll see you next time.